Scott, it continues to rise as Helldivers 2 is blowing through estimates with 1 million in sales. Grant Taylor Hill over at Insider Gaming. Helldivers 2 was released on PlayStation 5 and PC recently, and it quickly became one of the most talked about topics in gaming, despite some teething issues that brought down immediate reviews of the game on platforms like Steam. The resiliency of the team deploying hotfixes couldn't be denied, and that the game became PlayStation's biggest launch on PC to date. On Twitter, the CEO of Arrowhead, the game's developer, stated that the sales were around 1 million, referencing the game was already blown through estimates. It seemed that even the game's issues aren't preventing Helldivers 2 from seeing success as creators and players the world over take to social media to share clips and positive reviews of the title. There are some issues with matchmaking and network stability that are still hitting some players, but for the most part, it's stabilizing. Hours ago, the CEO of our Arrowhead said on Twitter that Helldivers 2 had hit around 1 million sales, which is a huge milestone after just 3 days on the market. On Steam, Helldivers 2 is listed as the top-selling game at present, beating out the likes of Palworld, Enshrouded, and Counter-Strike 2. Dude, congrats to Arrowhead. I don't think anybody anticipated this for Helldivers 2.
No, certainly not. And to actually beat these long-established series like Counter-Strike is unreal.
It is, yeah. Counter-Strike's always in the conversation because it's on Steam, but the fact that it beat out the likes of Palworld and Enshrouded, like, dude, Palworld took out everything. Like, it just went boom and blew up, and then all of a sudden now, Helldivers is like, yo, hold my beer, and here we are, right? It's just one of those situations. I didn't see this one coming. Helldivers, the original, was a top-down experience on the Vita. Nobody expected Helldivers 2 to take off the way it did. But getting into Jonathan Bolding over at PC Gamer, Helldivers 2 is now PlayStation's biggest PC launch by a factor of 2. Helldivers 2 is now not only PlayStation's most successful PC release, it has doubled the record of previous big hit God of War. Helldivers 2 has reached a peak concurrent player count of about 155,000, almost 156,000 over the weekend, while God of War previously held a record at 73,000 peak of concurrent players. PC Gamer reported on Friday that Helldivers 2 had topped PlayStation's other launches, but with server troubles in the offering and negative reviews rolling in, counted growth wasn't a sure thing. It cleared the cooperative third-person shooter is now very much a success. The stats come courtesy of tracking site Steam DB. Dude, I was just on there the other day and I looked at it and they're like, man, they hit 84,000, I think we were talking about at the time or something like that. And now it's up to 155, 156 over the weekend. Scott, Helldivers 2 right now is just on a massive surprise. And there's a big question that's going to come up in tonight's podcast where you can join us over at ITG Gamecast over on a YouTube channel for members only. Live tonight at 7:30, every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. But we'll be getting into conversation about PlayStation and PC and how that future looks. But it is awesome to see Helldivers 2. Dude, I was on my PlayStation last night, working on a review after I jumped off of Predecessor. And then I jumped into a review game. And my brother's like, yo, want to join us over here on Helldivers? Dude, so I jumped in the party. I talked to my brother, our buddy Mike, and they had another guy in there I don't know. But I'm like, I bounced off, joined you guys over on Xbox, came back on the PlayStation and saw him again.
They're still going?
He's still going, but now with 2 other people. Not just like, oh, man, it is just continuous nonstop. And I talked to my brother. So the game just came out. Dude, he has hours and hours into this game.
Like, already.
Hook, line, and sinker. Almost cleared the first planet. Like, they're just doing everything. Boom, 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 boom. And I did not expect this at all. Helldivers, I'm like, oh, cool, another Helldivers game. All right, cool. Yeah, they changed it up. It's no longer the top-down view, whatever. You're switching it to third person. All right, cool. We'll see how this goes, right? You and I streamed it last week. Had a good time. Dude, I did not expect everybody just to jump on it and just whatever. But it is pure chaos, and it is a ton of fun. You and I laughed like practically the whole time.
It is incredibly hectic. You're gonna lose your mind running around trying to do this cleanly. It's a really fun time, but it has me wondering, because it changed so much between the first release and Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
I would have expected some of that audience to drop away, not grow and grow. Although third person, I guess, is just much more agreeable with most people. But
Yep.
to see that success in the face, I think what was it, a year ago when Starship Troopers came out too?
Yeah.
And this game, unfortunately, now this is not a review, but the addended version of it is that, holy, this really just took Starship Troopers launch and ran with it, and it just got much bigger, much more successful right off the top. And I'm not sure what the difference is, other than like the gameplay is just quite different and more modern and new. But it's interesting to study that, because it's important as a release to PlayStation being on PC console at the same time, and it seems to defy all the pre-standing odds. Starship Troopers, there has to be more fans of that than there are of Helldivers, surely. But I think this speaks to just everybody.
Yeah, no, I think it's something new, fresh, and dude, honestly, I think it comes down to timing. They hit a sweet spot right now. What are you playing right now? Like, you take a look at it, you take a look, where are the big releases placed? They're all scattered, right? And Helldivers comes out at the time that people are like, yo, there is no God of War right now. There is no Spider-Man right now. There is no Wolverine, not until next year. And dude, there's nothing in that little pocket.
There's no Legend of Zelda to launch alongside this one.
Yeah, exactly, right? So they don't have any big AAA title to go up against. Instead, they just drop out at the perfect time. And sometimes it's all it takes is to hit that sweet spot, and then you get into the chaotic, fun as hell gameplay, and you're just right there, right? And it just, everybody goes, yo, you gotta check this out. Yo, you gotta check this out. 155 concurrent players are checking it out over the weekend, right? It's one of those things, and man, that says something. So then, yeah, of course, Helldivers team, Arrowhead, not the biggest team, didn't come out. Dude, there's never a game that launches perfect. And it has some issues, but they're on it, right? And they're on making sure that the fixes are there. They want people to go in and have a good time. And that's what everybody plans initially. No one comes out and go, hey, yo, our game sucks. Put it out. And hope for the best.
I'm surprised,
right?
Surprised there was a server space available for a launch this big.
It just...
It was well calculated.
Well, it wasn't
seemingly
quite
there were issues.
Calculated. Yeah, there were issues, right? But at the same time, man, I'm happy. I'm happy this now helps that studio. In the last year and a half, with the amount of layoffs we've had because launches aren't going well, here's Arrowhead going, we did it. Right? We did it. It works. People love it. We keep the lights on. We work on the next project. We continue on with this one. Dude, hats off. Very happy.
I bet we're gonna see a lot of DLC for this game come along.
Keep it going, dude. This is PlayStation's games of service.
Absolutely.
Right? This is the start of their games of service. Does this work? Does this keeping? What's their roadmap? What is the long-term goal here? And yeah, then there's this whole other conversation too that we can get into later on, probably in another show. But they're looking at. It was stated this morning, Scott. The CEO said monetization for the game needs to be earned.
Yes.
It's a very interesting take, right?
That means they are going to attempt to woo us before we have to spend more money on that. And that's a really refreshing opinion.
Yeah, instead of putting the monetization model in the Game Pass first, hey, here's our Game Pass. You haven't played the game. There's a Game Pass, though. Enjoy, right? They didn't do that. They're like, hey, here's the game. Damn. Hats off. Fantastic.
That's the way to sell it.
Yep. I'm very happy. Dude, I can't wait to get in. I told my brother, though, yo, I'm working. I'll bounce up with you this week, so I'll probably be on it tonight. So yeah, back in Helldivers 2, man. So cool.
In the story, seeing a negative consequence and giving you an added challenge. We don't think that many other games are going to be able to offer what Helldivers 2 can. We love our game, and we want you to love our game just as much as we do.